Hello. I wanted to add this video or do a video on the negative side effects of punishment after reading the discussion questions in Intro Psych. This is also relevant and will be relevant to my Psychology of Learning, which is doing that discussion next. So anyway, the Skinner. The thing is that punishment works in the short term. Right? It will discourage a behavior in the short term, basically, is what Skinner believed. So, yes, right, if the individual or the child is engaged in behaviors that might immediately threaten their life, punishment will stop that in its tracks. All right? But it doesn't really have long-term effects necessarily. That's why some of you were saying some of the things that were recommended, at least in the intro textbook, but it has to be applied close in time to the inappropriate behavior, has to be applied consistently, and so forth, right? And that's the thing too, when you're talking about real life, parents can, people in general cannot be consistent all the time. It's just very difficult. So, sometimes that kid cusses and it's funny. You laugh at, you just reinforced it. Right? Instead of, so you encourage it. So it's hard to be consistent. But there are many reasons, according to Skinner, why you really just should not use punishment. So a lot of the negative side effects, most of you touched on some of these, of course, and you need to focus on the ones that are mentioned in the textbook in Intro Psych for the test. I mentioned some here that folks in Psychology of Learning should be aware of for their test, right? Many of you said it creates unpleasant, negative emotional byproducts, and it does. Fear, resentment, anger, all those unpleasant emotions are created when you punish someone. Also, many of you said it only indicates what not to do. It doesn't tell the individual what to do. So that's another thing they recommend nowadays. You should talk to the child about what they should do next time in that situation, for instance. And then try to reinforce that if they do that in the future, right? But among other things, also among the negative side effects are it justifies inflicting pain on others. And some of you got this like with modeling, by mentioning modeling. Well, you learn by modeling, the parents model aggression, so you learn that aggression. Well, cognitively in us human beings, also it justifies inflicting pain on others. It teaches the child, if the circumstances are right, you can and maybe you even should, right, be aggressive with someone else. So that's a possible negative side effect. And of course, I already said among the negative emotional byproducts, it can elicit aggression from the individual being punished, right? And very related to that, Skinner said, it often replaces one undesirable behavior with another undesirable behavior, right? The kid jumping on the furniture, smack, smack, smack. Oh, I hate you, I hate you, I hate you, I hate. So you replace one undesirable behavior with another undesirable behavior. And someone used the example in the discussion and intro, right, of taking the phone away from a daughter, or the daughter kicking the parent's door in. What? Yeah, you replace one bad behavior or undesirable behavior with another one. What have you accomplished, Skinner would say, all right? And then the other one, real big one for Skinner, is that it can actually encourage the undesired behavior to happen in the absence of the punisher, right? So someone said in there that, kids will hide their cell phones in class when they're not supposed to have them. When the teacher leaves, when the punisher leaves, you immediately do. You immediately bring out your cell phone. You immediately do the undesirable behavior. And I don't know if any of you had the same experience when you were teenagers as I did. I'm not a good model. Don't. But anyway, what did I do when my parents left town for the weekend? Right? I did everything they would punish me for if they were in town. Right? The punisher's not here. Woohoo! Now I'm really going to do it. So it encourages the undesirable behavior to happen when the punisher's not there looking over your shoulder. Right? And others, used examples in their discussions in Intro Psych too of, if there's a police car on the side of the road, you're not speeding. As soon as you're past that police car, you're speeding again. right? Or you're on your phone and stuff, finding out where the police are and avoiding them. It actually encourages the undesired behavior in the absence of the punisher. So yeah, a lot of negative potential effects of punishment. And we did not address this in my intro class, but you deal with the question, well, why is it used so much? Why does everybody argue that punishment needs to be used on these youngsters? We don't punish anymore. We need to punish them. That fix society. Why do people believe in punishment? Why do people do it? That's the question. If it's really not effective, it has all these, negative byproducts. Why do people use punishment? And Skinner points out, well, whenever anyone is engaging in a behavior and continues to engage in a behavior, they are doing it because something is reinforcing them for doing that behavior. So the punisher, him or herself, is reinforced when they use punishment. Doesn't change the kid's behavior, right? And it creates all these negative byproducts. But when I smack the kid, right, the kid's doing something irritating, right? Smack the kid's not doing that irritating thing anymore, all right? That's negative reinforcement. I've just been reinforced for using punishment, right? When I engage in the behavior, an unpleasant stimulus that is present is removed or goes away when I engage in the behavior. That is negative reinforcement. I've just been reinforced for using punishment. So that's why it's used so much, Skinner argued. Not because it works, but because those who engage in the punishment, the punisher, when they use it, they're reinforced. That's why it's used so widely. Of course, there are many other reasons why. We could, society, norms, culture, all that sort of stuff. But I just wanted to make this video. Y'all did pretty good on those discussions, though, in general. So, good job. But I thought I'd do this video to talk about it a little bit and get you to think about it. I'm not passing any judgment on anybody. I can't do that, right? But it's just interesting to think about it. All right. Bye.